Hello, everyone. I'm Kibin Alleyne, and today is Tuesday, February 27th. You are now watching Open, a program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to you. Don't forget to stay connected with us via social media at BronxNet TV. WalletHub is an acclaimed personal finance company that helps individuals achieve financial security. The organization recently published a report identifying the states facing challenges in hiring new employees. WalletHub's editor, Christie Matherne, joins me to discuss their report findings. Christie, thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, no problem. Thanks for having us on.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about WalletHub and its overall mission?
Sure. So, WalletHub is a personal finance company that offers a wide range of services and tools to empower consumers, including free credit scores that are updated daily. We have powerful comparison tools for various financial products, 24/7 credit monitoring, debt payoff tools, you name it. And we also do a lot of studies on trends in finance and consumer behavior, such as this one.
Exactly. So I want to talk about that. Before we get into the challenges, though, can you talk about the improvements we're seeing in the labor market?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. The labor market is showing signs of improvement, and there's a few notable indicators for this. For instance, the national labor force participation rate is nearing pre pandemic levels. It's currently at 62.5% as of January. Additionally, the unemployment rate has dropped to just 3.7%, and that shows increased job opportunities and a growing demand for labor. Employees are also showing a greater reluctance to leave their current jobs. And this gives stability within companies because it allows them to focus on filling new roles rather than constantly backfilling due to turnover.
Now, you just mentioned that employees are becoming less likely to leave their employers. What positive impact could this have on the overall job market?
Well, definitely. To put it simply, when people are less likely to leave their jobs, it reduces turnover rates and it allows companies to focus more on filling new positions and fostering stability within their workforce rather than constantly having to search, hire, and train people to fill roles.
Now, this leads to my next question. For some time, there has been this misconception that people don't want to work, and it's been a narrative that we've been hearing a lot, especially since the pandemic. Can you just talk a little bit more about where this stemmed from? And, do people still kind of have this idea about, people just not wanting to work these days?
This misconception likely stemmed from shifts in workforce preferences and also accelerated retirements during the pandemic. And I think the pandemic shifted something in a lot of people, to be honest. However, the labor market is improving by the numbers, as we said earlier. I think it's clear from a 3.7% unemployment rate that people do want to work. The rate of quitting has decreased from its 2021 high. So people want to keep their jobs more than they ever did before. And despite these positive trends, many businesses still face labor shortages, particularly in certain states. I think the attitude maybe is still out there that people don't want to work, but I don't think the numbers show that.
Now, can you tell us more about your study and the most recent report on employers and the hiring process?
Sure. So we use data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, and we analyze job opening rates for both the latest month and the past 12 months. So the report highlights states with the most pronounced hiring difficulties.
Now, can you talk a little bit about, what were some of the major findings in this report?
The main findings, we highlighted the states with the most significant struggles in hiring, as indicated by job openings rates for both the latest month and the past 12 months. And states where employers are struggling the most include West Virginia, South Carolina, Alaska, Colorado, and Minnesota. And these states all had the highest rates of job openings in the US.
Now, can you explain why we may actually be seeing like some of these states struggling to kind of fill these spots?
Well, one of the economics experts we spoke to for this study, James Bailey, pointed out something notable here. There are more job openings in the US than there are unemployed people. The latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics job openings and labor turnover study shows that there are 1.4 job openings for every unemployed person. But the labor shortage problem could also be due to other factors, including recovery of job growth post pandemic. Like, we're still not quite to where we were. So there's also accelerated retirement rates among baby boomers and industry specific talent shortages, particularly in technology and healthcare.
Now, just to clarify, is it that they can't find people to fill these jobs, or possibly could it be that maybe the jobs are open, but there aren't enough people qualified for them? Do you have any insight on and maybe that aspect why they're struggling to hire people in some of these positions?
Well, I think that it's possible that it's both of those things and all of those things. And I think also additionally shifting attitudes toward work, including a preference for non-traditional roles and possibly hybrid work from home preferences as well, can contribute to this too.
I'm so glad that you actually brought up work from home, because I think stemming from the pandemic, that was probably the main thing that kind of changed the workforce. I think honestly for the entire future, people are going to either want to work from home or, do hybrid. Can you just explain the impact that has had on the workforce in America?
Well, I think that people wanting to work more from home can definitely affect hiring struggles. I keep hearing personally about offices trying to get their employees back to the office, and they're getting a lot of pushback. I think from people who have been working from home for a couple of years, and that makes sense to me. When you get used to something so much, and I think a lot of people are more productive at home too.
Right. Thank you so much for kind of touching on that, because I think that it is changing the way we see just work in the future. And it could have also a possible large impact, because so many people have gotten used to working from home or taking care of the kids and working. So thank you so much for talking about that. Now, the
Yeah.
job opening rates in the last 12 months for New York is 4.43%. Can you explain, what this number means for some of us who may not understand that, and how will it affect employment rates in New York City?
So this means that over the past year, there have been on average 4.43% of job openings relative to the total number of jobs in the state. So this rate suggests kind of a moderate demand for labor. However, it may not significantly affect employment rates in New York City, as the rate is relatively stable between now and the past year. Now it's 4.6%. So that's not necessarily indicative of a major surge or a major decline in job opportunities. And New York ranks 47th in our study, by the way. So it's
Now,
doing pretty well.
now, for a lot of these numbers, they were looked at, as you mentioned earlier, in January, so we're really early. How do you think this will change, or how do you foresee this changing? Let's say December 2024, January 2025.
Well, that's hard to say. These things do move kind of slow. If there's any indicator between the past 12 months and now, there's not a ton of variation. So these numbers are moving slow, like I said. I think we're still not out of the woods on labor shortages. And I think we're going to see a little more struggle in hiring until the end of the year, at least.
Now, this is just, one of the things that WalletHub does. Can you tell us a little bit more about, what the organization does, and possibly maybe some other studies that they have looked into?
Sure. Well, we also, in addition to having comparison tools for different financial products, we cover loans, car insurance, credit cards, and everything a consumer would need to be kind of financially savvy. And we also do credit monitoring. We have debt payoff tools like calculators. If you're planning to get a mortgage anytime soon, we have a mortgage calculator that you can kind of see where you're going to save the most money with your rate. And with our studies, we put out a ton of studies, especially recently. In relation to the study that we're talking about, we also have a study about states where unemployment claims are increasing the most. We have changes in unemployment rate by state, best and worst states for jobs, best cities for jobs, and we also have a lot of things about the economy in general.
All right, well, I want to thank you so much for joining us and having this discussion.
Thank you so much for having us on.
To find out more about WalletHub and their report, please go to their website at www.wallethub.com. Don't go away, we'll be back with more Open after this.